Betfury is absolutely killing it. This is Crypto Wealth, and today we're going to be talking about Betfury. I'm going to give you a little bit of a Betfury update, talk about my Betfury strategy, kind of a little bit of a tutorial, if you will. The Betfury dividends have been monstrous. I mean, absolutely incredible. I'm going to go over this. I'm going to talk about kind of my long-term goals, kind of how I do the math. I'm going to show you that in this video. Not that I'm an expert at math or anything, so you can feel free to correct me. This often happens in the comments, which is totally okay by me. But listen, this is unreal. 90 Bitcoin. 90 Bitcoin in the dividend pool. They're about to hit $1 million worth of Bitcoin. That's just Bitcoin alone. There's 9 million Tron. There's 33,000 USDT and it goes 28,000 BTT. This is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. So I've been an investor in the Betfury platform from the beginning. I am not a player. I really don't recommend that you play with the platform. I know that sounds crazy that I would say that, but I mean, I would recommend that you mine the tokens. The strategy is, how do you make money with Betfury? Don't be a player, be an investor. I'll link above my mogul mining method that kind of teaches and shows how to mine the tokens on the Betfury platform. The goal is to mine the tokens. I'm going to cover some do's and don'ts on the platform, but just, oh my goodness, I just want to talk about my strategy. Really, right now, I'm kind of in shock. I actually was going to make another video, but I saw this and I was like, wow, I've already done 2 videos today, so this will actually get released tomorrow morning. But oh my goodness, 90 Bitcoin, that's crazy. I remember when they were in the 70s and I thought it would take 2 weeks to get to 80, and they got to 80 and like 80 Bitcoin in like 4 days. That's just crazy. So let's talk about how this works. Okay. So Betfury, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I think some of these gaming platforms are some of the best passive income investments that nobody's really talking about anywhere in the investment world. By the way, I have to say this, not a financial advisor. Don't follow my financial advice. I make money. I lose money. You don't want to lose money like I've lost money. So don't follow my advice. But I'll tell you kind of what I'm looking at, what I'm thinking about. One of the reasons I love these platforms is because they have the potential. These businesses are real businesses that have the potential to be around for months and years and years. That's what I love the most, is that potential. I want to be one of the guys who gets in early and hopefully am able to earn steady over time. So here's the thing. I'm just in awe sitting here looking at 90 right now. So here's how Betfury works. They're all of these platforms are a little bit different. I like Betfury. I like Chips. I've talked about Moolah. I put up a video about Wink recently. I'll link that video above because Wink is quite a bit different. You can watch that video. Now listen, the mogul mining method is how I get these tokens. You need to understand that. I don't show up here to play. I'm very strategic in what I'm doing to get these tokens. I currently right now have 43,000 tokens. I did something really stupid. At one point I had 120,000 tokens, probably one of my worst decisions in my life, but I ended up losing those 120,000 tokens. Whatever you do, don't try to, I tried to jump ahead of the line. I tried to do a little bit of gaming, because over here you can actually game with the tokens themselves. I do not recommend it. I mean, understand, gaming, you want to earn profits from the people who are gaming. You don't want to be the one paying the profits. You want to be the one earning the profits. Anytime you're gaming, you're the customer, not the investor. You don't want to be the customer. You want to be the investor. Keep that in mind. And besides, in most places, in a lot of places in the U.S. and around the world, you can't game in the jurisdiction that you're in anyway. So you don't want to do anything that you know is against the law. However, in plenty of places you can be an investor. So here's the thing. All right. So they're not going to pay out this full 90 BTC. What they do is they pay out about 3%, not about. They pay out 3%. 3%. Now Betfury is doing a lot of things right. They're very customer centric. They have promotions running all the time. You know, they have, you know, promotions here, these races running. They always have promotions running. They have a huge selection of games for customers, and they're earning profits. I mean, if you can look right here, let's do some quick little math here. You might as well say $1 million, but we'll say $950,000, trying to use round numbers, and we'll say 250 here. So that's a million, 1.2 million. Just keep it at that, $1.2 million. And they're going to pay out about 3% of that. That's what they pay out every day. They pay it around, I think it's 8 Eastern time is when we got 2 more hours, 8 o'clock Eastern time. My goodness. So if you come down here and just look at, for example, we'll talk about the mining and I'll tell you kind of my strategy here. All dividends. So this is interesting. They keep the amount, they're profitable. They're attracting new customers all the time. And here's the proof. This pool keeps growing. Now, one of the things I don't like about this platform is their token is entirely too cheap. Using the mogul mining method, you can get this token for about, I think it's 1.5 cents right now, or 1.6 cents maybe. Using the mogul mining method, you can get this token for about 1.6 cents. Again, I'll put that link above for that video. If you don't understand what the mogul mining method is, I'm not going to cover that in this video, or I'll put a link in the description and you can watch it. And I'll put a link to Betfury too. It is an affiliate link. You'll be supporting this channel. They don't pay out tremendous affiliate rewards at all. They pay out very little, but it's still, every little bit helps. So I'll put a link in the description. However, so here's what's making, so let's just look at this. So the second, which was yesterday, they paid out 2.2 Bitcoin. There was 80 something here yesterday. They paid out 2.2. And as you can see, they've been paying out more and more. If we go all the way back to almost a month ago, the 5th of September, they paid out 1.5. That's a big difference. 2.2. So today they'll probably be close to 2.4 and some change. They're almost at an extra Bitcoin they're paying out. However, take a look at the earnings. This is per 100,000. 80,000 Satoshi here. It dropped down back up to 80,000 Satoshi. So if they're paying out a full Bitcoin more or less, how come the earnings are staying the same? Because you get diluted. Because in order for tokens are being mined based on how players are playing. Again, go watch the mining method. So you're getting diluted. They're so cheap to earn that you can get diluted very fast. But they're growing. The dividend pool is growing at a rate that the pool is keeping up with dilution, which is incredible. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Now, you're not going to get diluted forever. Dilution will slow down over time. Again, I cover that in the mogul mining method. It's because mining stages change, the cost of mining goes up. So slowly, dilution will ultimately get diluted. They've already mined a total of 1.7 million tokens. Once 1.7 billion, right? Yes, 1.7 billion. Once 5 billion tokens are mined, it's done at that point, at least for the BFG token. It's done in theory. Hopefully they don't come out with another different token. They have two. They have a BFG token. They have a TRX and a Bitcoin version, but I don't want to confuse you with that. The Tron version, the Bitcoin version. I don't want to confuse you. You can come over here and read about that I think it's under staking. You can come down here. Oh, what's it up here? Oh, right here. You can go to staking and read right here. You can read all about it. Okay, so knowing that, here's the way I'm looking at it. And again, this is high risk. I'm just explaining what I'm doing. Do your own research. Take your own risk. Crypto is risky. These platforms are risky. What I like is if they're successful, then we're going to be earning passive income for a really long time. Now, so here's the thing. Where's it at? The returns are incredible right now. First of all, I'm going to be earning about $350 today. And I'm just going to keep compounding. And here's the challenge. My goal, I want to get to where I'm at least earning $10 a day. $10 a day. Once the token max supply is reached, once we get to 5 billion, I want to have enough tokens that I'm earning at least $10 a day. Now, what does that look like? Well, let's do a little bit of math. I need to figure out how much $10 a day would be right now. So if I've got 43,000, let me see. I got 43,343 tokens. And let's just say that I'm going to get 35,000. 35,000 Satoshi. and I want to get basically 100,000 Satoshis, $10 if Bitcoin's valued at $10,000. So we know that Bitcoin goes up and down. Right now it's just over $10,000, but let's just say that we want to get 100,000 Satoshi. Now I'll show you how I'm doing the math on that in case you don't know. It's like this. It's basically, it's basically I do my total number of tokens, which is 43,000. We'll say 43K. I got the exact number written down. I'll do the exact math in a minute. And you kind of do, I do a ratio, 43,000 to earning 35. If 43,000 tokens is earning 35,000 Satoshi, then, and if you don't understand this math, it's okay. I'll just explain how I'm doing it. 43,000 chips or tokens is earning me 35,000 Satoshi. So how many chips do I need to get 100,000 sats? And then the math is this. Multiply 43,000 to 100,000. Multiply 35,000 to X. And then you basically divide 35,000 by whatever you come up with here. So I'll do some quick math and I'll get back with you. Some of you have already done that math in your head. In fact, I'll just pull up the calculator. How about that? So 43,000 times 100,000 equals divided by 35,000. That's not correct. Or is it? Hang on, let me see what I did wrong. That is correct. That's what I need at this point. I need 122,000 tokens right now to get me 100 sats a day, right now, at the current rate. Current dilution level, current dividend pool, the whole 9 yards. Now, if the dividend pool goes up fast enough, I would need less than that. But the way the past 30 days has kind of stayed the same. So I need roughly 122,000 tokens to get me to $10 a day. But keep in mind, my goal is there's going to be 5 billion eventually. So how much do I need? Assuming there's a lot of assumptions. Assuming they stay in business, assuming they stay good, assuming the dividend pool stays the same right now. Assuming the dividend pool stays the same, then when there's 5 billion mined, how much will I need? That's what I've got to figure out. Okay, I think I have it. So basically there's been 1.479 staked, 1.4 million, and there's a total of, 1.4 billion, and there's a total of 5 billion. So if you take 5 billion, I think I'm doing this right, divided by 1,479,767,971. 3.378. 3.3, we'll say 3.38. Currently, at the current dividend pool, current saturation or inflation, whatever, I need 122,000 tokens to get $10 per day. So if you multiply my current rate 3.3, if you multiply 3.38 to my current 122,857, that's what I need. So I need it. Remember back here when I did the math, I needed 122,857 tokens right now to get $10 per day. But I've got to fight inflation. So in order to fight inflation, in order to figure that out, what I did was I calculated 1.47 billion. I divided it 5 billion by 1.47 billion, came up with 3.37 or 3.38. And now I just need to multiply this number by 122,857. This is how many BFG tokens I need right now to get 100,000 sats a day, which is roughly $10 a day. So multiply by 3.37. 415,000 is where I need to get to. I believe I did that right. You can tell me in the comments if I did it wrong. So roughly, which by the way, this is coming down because the amount that you need to get to $10 a day keeps coming down when this is growing. Oh, it's dipped down. That means somebody won. So we'll see if it crosses back over the 90 BTC in a minute. So, and again, all this stuff changes. All the numbers change a little bit. But I need roughly 430, maybe 500,000 tokens conservatively to make certain that if they keep the current dividend pool of 90 BTC, if they keep that and price of BTC stays stable, see, there's a lot of risk involved. That should get me to $10 a day roughly long term. And of course, if I get to the 400,000+ BFGs before the 5 billion's mined, then I'm going to be ahead of the game. Way ahead of the game. I mean, if I had that now, I'd be getting, close to $40 a day right now. I don't. I have 43,000. So here's my goal. I am compounding like crazy, and I'll be very upfront with you. I'm about to add another $500 to $1,000. I'm debating. I'm about to add another 500 to 1,000, I think. The reason is because I really need to get ahead. It's harder. Right here, I can tell you that I'm barely staying above inflation. In fact, if it wasn't for referrals, it would feel like I was just spinning my wheels. I'm moving forwards, but I would only be moving forward. The little bit of referrals that I get are very, very helpful. So those of you that are referrals of mine, I greatly appreciate it. It's very helpful in moving forward. Dumbest thing I ever did was try to get ahead of the system by playing with my tokens. Dumbest thing ever. So I don't recommend that you do that. With that being said, though, I'm just compounding like crazy. And I think the only way to do this really and truly, because if you start with like $10 or $20 invested, $100 invested, you're really never going to see, you're not going to get ahead of inflation. Like it's going to feel so slow. You really need to start with, my buddy, nerdy dude, he started with 1,000, or he jump started with 1,000. He got started, and then he come in with like $1,000 worth. To really get ahead, I would say $500, $1,000, $2,000 just to get the tokens. Now, of course, this is a risky platform, and not many people are willing to do that. I get it. I totally get it. But I am, because I just want to be it's not going to hurt me if I lose $500, $1,000, even $2,000. But I think that the potential, this has been so steady. Earlier I talked about, in one of my previous videos, I talked about Wink and I talked about chips. The thing about those tokens is they pay out the dividend pool every day in full. And that's I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but we're about to cross back over 90 Bitcoin again. The thing about Betfury that makes it very interesting is Betfury actually, when they pay out the 3%, it gives kind of a consistent, steady, I guess, income stream or dividend stream. So it doesn't go up and down every single day. There we go, cross over 90. Now, here's another thing. If you believe long-term Bitcoin goes up, it's kind of cool that they're essentially holding a portion of your dividends because they're only paying out 3% a day. So in theory, the 90 Bitcoin is here. This dollar amount changes based off the price of Bitcoin. But the 90 Bitcoin are here. So in theory, you're going to get your share, or I'm going to get my share of the 90 Bitcoin. So if price goes up, well, all the more better. I'm still getting it. I'm just going to get it a little bit later when price goes up. It's like they're just kind of holding it on reserve, if you will. And really and truly, the great thing about getting it 3% a day is it just produces kind of consistency. And it's a mental thing. It's totally mental, totally emotional, but it's consistency, and that's cool. Betfury is doing amazing. I was excited. When Betfury launched, I said it could be the Wink killer. And a lot of people ridiculed me in the comments. And I said that for a few reasons. I saw that they were very player-centric. And I saw that they were looking at some of the things Wink did wrong. And they'd improved upon it. And so I knew if the team if they had any business acumen at all, any business know-how, then I really felt confident that they could really do something here. And they have. And I knew it was a possibility, but I wasn't gonna, I wasn't gonna bet the farm on it, because I got to tell you, knowing what I know now, I mean, heck, I'd have put probably $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 into here. I mean, it's done amazing. Amazing. If you want to get started with Betfury, links in the description. However, remember, cryptocurrency can be risky, but I love these gaming platforms because I just think they can last. I mean, they have the ability to last for a really long time. We've got regulations coming ahead. We'll see how they do with regulations long term. I think basically what's going to happen is it's going to be very strict. You're not going to be able to play on these platforms. It's just going to be enforced really well. And you're not going to be able to play on these platforms in jurisdictions where it's not allowed. It's already difficult, but there are people getting around that. But I think eventually that's going to come to a halt. I believe. I could be wrong. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate regulations. That's just another risk to your investment. But I'm going to be withdrawing today in a moment, about 34,000 sats. And I literally am pulling nothing. Well, that's not true. I do pull out I get a few little Tron, and after a week or two, I'll pull them out. When there's about 100 Tron in there, I pull those out normally. But I am loving all of my Satoshis, all of my Bitcoin, which is the majority of this. I just reinvest. And I'm dollar cost averaging in, bring in $100, $50, $500, $1,000. I may bring in $1,000 next month. $1,000 mined properly using the mogul mining method will get you about 50,000 tokens. That's the thing. There's about $1,000 here. And when you start playing with these tokens, you don't realize that. There's about $1,000 worth of tokens here. That's nuts. Betfury is incredible. I may do a video series. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to do a video series on $10 a day. There's several platforms. My goal is to get to $10 a day on 4 or 5 different platforms. Let me know if you want to do that. If you want me to do that series, just let me know down in the comments. If you haven't already, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that bell notification. I'll put the mogul mining method video at the very end. Remember, crypto equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.